l'esprit d'équipe est la clé de la réussite de nos actions communes.
We would like to create a secure environment.
We are here for a purpose, and that higher purpose is the one that keeps us motivated, and keeps us going.
The challenge there was to really set up something from nothing.
We shall make it better, we shall leave the place better than when we first time came.
Our goal here is one, to bring peace in the country.
They're very innovative. You know, they find ways to overcome problems.
Almost weekly, attacks on convoys.
There was nothing. We had to do it from scratch, and we did it.
Provide support to the main components of the mission.
Mission Support Division in operational settings, and this is reality in Mali, has to be a very well-oiled machine.
The most important is the provision of accommodation, both for working and living.
Which is tremendous engineering challenge.
The life in the regions is different than Bamako. It is not exactly, very favorable living conditions, but we are doing whatever we can.
When we started, our staff were living in different locations. Ensure that all personnel are in super camps, large, sort of mini villages where the staff feel that they are adequately protected, reduce the feeling of loneliness and isolation. Home away from home at the very northern edge of this country. And imagine the logistics behind that.
And we have to ensure that those camps are supported.
We provide logistics and administrative support to all the pillars of the mission. Service delivery, supply chain resource management pillar.
Building up camps, providing camp services.
Delivering food and fuel for the use of the camps.
Life support.
Focus on environment is in every single activity we do.
Engineering, aviation, medical, and transport.
Acquisition management, procurement, movement control, centralized warehousing, supply chain performance.
We also provide administrative services,
human resources entitlement,
recruitment, travel services, medevac, medical and casualty evacuation, which is a major component of our support.
Well-being.
Stress counseling and psychological welfare of staff is a huge challenge.
And all that comes for sustaining them
is always a first priority.
MINUSMA is logistically a very difficult area.
How much we do with how little, working in such a difficult and dynamic environment.
These services are fundamental to the success of the peacekeeping operation.
Have we planned properly? Have we done our estimates properly? And what is it that we have to move? We have to deliver.
All the personnel need to have a comfortable environment of living and working in order to be able to discharge their duties.
Sometimes, if it's going to a remote location, it's like moving mountains.
I've seen the development of this land where we are now. There are tremendous changes.
We have met these challenges head-on in a very limited resource way and overcome most of them.
This is the significance of mission support.
La MINUSMA a pris la paix et la réconciliation au Mali par le redéploiement de l'administration, le retour des réfugiés et des déplacés.
Even under the most adverse circumstances, smiling, dedicated, working hard, and you know, the morale is high.
9 out of 10 times, I always say it comes down to people.
I find it very encouraging.
We have been able to do what one would have considered as impossible in an impossible environment.
We are the wind beneath their wings.
The essence of comprehension and understanding each other, in addressing them as a team, that's where you make the difference.
Le professionnalisme, le respect et la défense des valeurs des Nations Unies sont le fondement de notre réussite au Mali.
MINUSMA is really a high-risk environment in terms of safety and security first and foremost.
They can go out and do their task, knowing that there's a medical team that will take good care of them.
We started from scratch.
We are located in a rural area where medical services are in general very poor.
Is the remoteness of medical facilities and actually getting these patients out to where they need to be.
This is a mission where we have very harsh conditions.
Statistically, it is the most dangerous peacekeeping mission in the world. Casevac, it's basically your frontline teams that's going by helicopter. That is right after the incident occurred, and they bring those patients to a more controlled environment like the hospitals or the surgical units.
Once the incident happens, you were supposed to be responding within first 10 minutes.
Okay, there's something we call the golden hour.
1 hour given to bring the casualties into the first place where they do the resuscitations.
Medivac is what we do. We take the hospital to the patient. We have to be at the airport and prepare our flight kits. Then our treatment will start as soon as the ground medical staff will hand us the patients, and we will fly to wherever the pre-decided destination is.
Having a med is really crucial, and it is important, it is really beneficial, both in terms of tactical benefit and strategic.
What we specialize in is evacuation of patients that's been involved in the conflict areas. And we basically fly them and render medical care in the air.
To make sure the casualties is brought to the damage control surgery so that loss of limb and then loss of life can be reduced.
We have our level 1 clinic. On top of that, we have a level 1+ facility, which has got state-of-art equipment inside.
It definitely shows the innovation of MINUSMA.
It is unique.
Swifter, faster, and safer.
We can stabilize their condition until they're evacuated to other facilities.
Highly mobile and light footprint of surgical hospitals.
This is something which is very special.
It is something new for us.
It helps us, look after our forces, our troops.
It has a real impact to the morale of the UN staff that even if something happens to them, medical service will be provided on time.
The convoy helped the region to survive.
Whenever people come from our side, with the convoys, it's always a great thing. This is a small camp in the middle of the desert, risks of IDF attacks or mortar shellings, and it's a risky place. Nothing is available here, but the convoys come with our rations, our other necessary items.
Without us to reach there, their project cannot go ahead. Yes, it's a very hard life. The danger and challenges, there are so many. Explosion on the road, AED, and then there is also some part on the road where they are attacked. The gunmen attack the convoy. The fear is too much because you are now thinking who will be the next. You are not sure if you reach at your destination.
My men starts working from 7:30 with the constructions. What we are doing, we're bunkerizing all the accommodations, so they're safe. At least when they sleep at night, they can sleep in peace.
We have, for example, an accident. The truck which was taking the forklift break down. All time we spent there, our enemy, they was watching at us, and then they went to put the mine on our road. One of our UN truck stepped on the mine. It's not a good feeling.
So whenever people come from outside, with the convoys, it's always a good thing.
When they hear that convoy is coming on the way and reach, people, they are trying to encourage us.
We are here to help people. This is a big thing.
I'm happy to be part of people who are wishing to have peace in Mali.
This is an opportunity to help the humanity.
To live out here in Kidal, it feels like you are in the end of the world.
On a daily basis, a lot of decisions are taken to improve the living conditions of all the people that stay and work for MINUSMA.
Staying out here in the north is very stressful. A lot of indirect attacks, mortar rocket attacks.
You know, the first attacks was quite traumatic because we're not used to that. And subsequently, any sound that is made, you know, you sort of jump around and check, you know, if it's okay. The attacks in Kidal became more violent, more regular.
To reduce the stress, we have been able to bunkerize.
So you have centralized bunkers.
When we have a rocket attack or mortar attack, we have a warning system, which gives us 30 to 20 seconds to seek protection in our bunkers.
And when you're sleeping, you know, that 20 seconds probably you're still trying to get awake, you know, and you don't really know where you are at that stage. So the idea was to protect you while you are sleeping.
To avoid getting hurt. We're conducting exercises on a regular basis.
Because of more and more attacks throughout the mission, that it required to have a retake on this. OHP stands for Overhead Protected Accommodation.
We have to come out with a little bit thinking outside the box.
What can be done in existing camps? Currently you sleep and you live in the same area. And that's where we started looking at separating the unit. We retrofit the containers into a usable space, transfer overhead loads from attacks onto foundations.
You can sleep the whole night without worrying.
Like a room. it saves cost, and it recycles materials.
It reduces stress to a great extent.
OHP gives me peace of mind. If you have a good night's sleep, you can rest properly without that fear that constantly is in the back of your mind. I think it will improve the general health of staff in MINUSMA.
You know, the attacks, it was around 4:20 a.m. So believe me, today in the camp, around 4 o'clock morning, people wake up. We don't have a good sleep.
We are in a very harsh environment.
Can have 48 degrees during the day. Long rainy season, we flood in the camp. As you know, it's not easy to be outside and work hard.
Facilities there are very scarce.
Convoy is 1 per month.
And we have to deal with a number of terrorist groups. This is why it's very specific, this mission.
Four rockets. One hit a Kurimek on the top.
One of the most affected staff is a good friend of mine.
We are in a constant threat.
So he was lucky enough. At that moment, he was not in his room, but it was a matter of luck. He could have been there.
After the attack of 4 September 2018, the situation in Menaka is different.
We have installed basically early warning systems and several layers of security.
We have a 30 second, 25 seconds to go to the bunkers. It's very, very, very needful, and it will change life of staff in Menaka.
Camp protection is crucial for our camps to ensure the safety of MINUSMA staff.
The challenge for me is to improve on daily basis the living condition of work and life.
It's a camp that still needs a lot of development.
And the next step is to build new Kurimek for substantive staff.
MINUSMA staff feels much better, feels protected, feels that they have a layer of security that allows them to save their lives.
For me, we are here to make something different, something better. Menaka is like a small village, and life is better because we are family.
In Mali, in a desert area, you do not cut down trees.
We try our level best to make sure that we abide by the rules and to implement things that will improve the environment. The first time I arrived here in this yard, in this lot, there was nothing. It was empty. One of the missions which is asked to take care of the environment is MINUSMA. The first prefab which was built here was only one single module. Within the years, we have developed it to be a bigger operational base. It looks beautiful, it looks green, nice.
All the water that's recycled from all the ablutions is currently fed back, so we save a lot of water. The wastewater system in MINUSMA, in Bamako, all the ablutions are linked to septic tanks. And the overflow of the septic tank is routed by a network of pipes down to the wastewater treatment plant.
Making sure that we don't waste excess of water. We use every single drip of water in this desert area.
In the wastewater treatment plant, the water is treated, cleared, cleaned and sanitized, and then fed back an extra system back to certain areas in the camp, like car wash areas, ablutions, and for gardening purposes.
We can recycle it and use it for green plantation, for vegetation, for trees. We build the prefabs around the existing trees. The effect of a green around people, it's refreshing, even in the offices.
So we try to keep this camp green, and currently we are greening the whole area by planting grass, new plants.
Mango, banana, we start doing individually gardening. We are doing the same thing for the regions in the middle of the desert. The land is fertile, it will grow, and it can be done, it's possible. MINUSMA cares the green in the camps.
You can make, prettify and make it feel good.
Walking after all these years in this camp where we have all these new offices, buildings, road construction, trees, plants, vegetation, it's a privilege.
No water is wasted.
And it feels, I don't know how to say it, the right term is exciting, that you see things change every day.
Welfare, well-being is an important responsibility for the organization.
Everybody working together.
First and foremost is the spirit of people.
You can imagine Mali is 3 times the size of France. Desert, desolate, infrastructure doesn't exist.
Tessalit is the most remote location of all the MINUSMA camps, very close to the border.
Life in the regions for civil and military colleagues is very difficult.
When we started putting together a program for welfare in the regions, we had nothing.
We try to improve the living facility of our colleagues that are living in the camp.
It starts with making sure that they feel secure, they feel safe.
To make their life normal as much as it is possible.
Provide facilities, be it a cafeteria, a gym, shopping. Provide them with a sense of not being abandoned, especially in difficult places in the middle of the desert.
There are also several types of activities which we are all together organizing. The sport events, dance and music, party.
Tessalit is like a small African desert village. Everybody knows each other. It's a family.
You may have an excellent welfare with no facility, and you may have all the facility that can stand empty.
Starts with the individual.
Yeah, the civilians and the military and all in the camp.
With the spirit of everybody getting engaged.
football every day or play volleyball every day, and also take a mental break from the stress that they're under.
It's a good way to get to know each other and make the daily work go smooth.
Welfare is business of everybody.
Welfare is much more than just a social event. It has to do with the well-being of the staff.
That super camp is the largest integrated camp in the mission. It's a big town. It's a city.
In aviation, we always speak about safety. So my biggest wish here is our safe operations.
Gao is a very big compound.
Flight distance from Bamako to Tessalit, which is our extreme northern point, is about 2.5 hours.
A very interesting place.
The airport will be the busiest airport in Mali.
It's a very nice place to be.
The dusty conditions and the high temperatures, they influence a lot the air assets, in the north especially. It was very tough here. It was a conflict in 2013 here still. We had a number of evacuations, so we cannot use much the road infrastructure. In order to protect the historical heritage, we can utilize unmanned aerial vehicles. We have Mi-8 specialized helicopters with aeromedical teams on board, fixed-wing aircraft for the transportation of cargo and personnel, unmanned aerial vehicles, fleet, both again military and civilian. Durable, tough, that's all we need.
After the suicide attack in November 2016, the National Air Terminal in Gao was totally damaged, put our aviation services into danger.
The runway was rehabilitated. Now the capability of that airport is to receive the biggest aircraft as Boeing 767.
The airport is strategically located within Mali and West Africa.
Gao becomes a main hub for MINUSMA operations.
It is the center of rotation of troops, a tremendous cost savings for the mission.
Providing the flights to the customer satisfaction in a safe manner. That is our ultimate goal.
It will positively impact a lot of things at the same time.
This is a mission life. We are not providing tea, coffee, or water, but we guarantee that you depart and you will arrive to your destination as fast as possible.
We should be able to protect ourselves in case or in terms of an attack.
Since I'm here, we have had 27 attacks.
The construction works in the super camp it's entirely different from what we have outside in peacetime.
Engineering plays a major role here. It is not difficult to get sand here because we are in the middle of the desert.
This has basically been the challenge so far. Maintenance of our equipment or acquiring parts and spares to fix them.
It's not easy to get all the resources in a timely manner.
Here in Mali, you always have to meet a deadline. It's more tedious, it's more tiring.
Excavation, sand, concertina wire, groundwork, and also digging trenches, which is part of securization of the camp.
The first thing that comes to mind when I think of Timbuktu as at now is the 14th April attack. It was a devastating attack.
When a car bomb exploded, we had to rush to the gate to prevent entry of the enemy.
We stayed out there late into the night to get it fixed. It was quite fulfilling getting it done. We have a very positive alarm system here.
Very well secured. OPs, observation posts.
They are quite huge, if I can put it that way. They are quite huge.
Very important for the forces to be able to, observe from a distance.
Getting to construct these OPs in record time, 5 days, was massive. Once we have these eyes at the vantage places, it gives those of us living in the camp enough room to operate, to maneuver. They are out here to monitor events outside and I report accordingly to the operation center.
We work as one team here.
It's all about seeing people happy, seeing people well motivated, moving freely about, sleeping peacefully.
Providing secured and safe accommodation is one of the things that make me most proud.
So it didn't really matter what had happened. We still had to go out there and then do our work.